Welcome back to the African Messenger. Again, this is your host, Mr. Gloria Gazaho, and I'm just happy to be here today to talk to you a little bit more again about different things and different issues that are taking place at the various levels in the community as well as society as a whole. I was kind of talking to someone and we're discussing culture about how much culture is being lost because people are choosing to imitate things that they were seeing, especially the African music right now, the African artists that you are seeing around, people who are they're imitating. There's a loss of that cultural identity that is taking place. Really honest, you see. Current artists are more kind of imitating what they are seeing, from other cultures, and there's nothing wrong with that as long as you imitate within your own culture without losing that identity, because culture is really important. It's part of one's identity, and so I see a lot of young people nowadays kind of like, losing a sense of who they are because they're losing a sense of their cultural beliefs and norms that they and their parents either brought in with them, or even within specific countries on the continent. People are imitating so much of the outside that is replacing their cultural values, their cultural belief, and the things that really culturally used to set them apart from the rest of the world. Now, if you don't understand, you don't really see the impact. You need to study about culture. You need to study about one's identity. And once you study about culture and one's identity, you're going to understand that you cannot separate the two. Culture and identity are two things. A part of the reason for that is now people have stopped being inventive, like innovative. People have stopped being original. People are more into imitating, more interested in imitating what they are seeing. It's dangerous when someone start doing things for money, because that is a dangerous thing. The reason why that identity is being lost is because now it's more what's going to make me the most money. It's not about what is self-satisfying and what is more important in maintaining one's identity. Many are willing to lose that identity to make money. And without understanding the implications of that for future generations. I think there was, when I was going to school, there was a culture, I can't remember what it is, that had completely lost the language. And there's one individual who realized that once he died, that was it. But he took it upon himself and started with his own family to start teaching them that language so that he could maintain that part of their identity, which was a language, is part of their culture. So it's really important that we understand that regardless where we are outside of the continent, on the continent of Africa, that part of the identity that makes us a people, that set us apart from the rest of the world, is a part of that is cultural beliefs and cultural norms, and the music, the songs, and everyone else appreciate that. And so having that originality is really important. And that goes out to aspiring artists. It's great that young people are aspiring to be artists. They want to be able to be singers and be models and so on and so forth. But as you plan, as you aspire for that, you also need to remember that part of what makes you you is that identity. And that's what's going to set you apart. And that's what's going to make you unique in everything else that you do. Now, when you lose that identity, when you lose that cultural value, when you lose that part of your core as an African, as a citizen in a specific country, as part of your specific culture, you're losing all that. You can gain more, you can gain money, you can gain fame, but as long as you've lost who you are, at some point it's not going to mean anything because you won't be promoting anything. What's so understanding is that when you're doing things in your singing, in your writing, in everything that you aspire to be, there's a part of you that is promoting your culture. You're promoting your values, the values that you came with, especially when those values are well regarded. And it's really, really important. we understand that as a people. And so having this conversation with this young man who's aspiring and thinking to be a rapper, to rap, hip hop music, all kinds of stuff, getting promoted and becoming a big artist. And I just stayed, at the same time as you aspire to be that, you need to be original, maintain that norm, maintain that cultural value, maintain that identity that sets you apart, that makes you different from everybody else. The minute we start understanding that, that makes a lot of difference. And I think I've touched a lot on this in my previous segments when I was talking about parents who are kind of adapting and imitating what they are seeing in terms of, like, what time is a good time to kick your kid out of the house and so on and so forth. It's okay to learn and to take in things. Not everything about our culture is good. Not everything about the other cultures is good. But there are some good things that we can pick and choose, that we choose to bring in our lives without forgetting who we are and where we come from, and that identity that sets us apart and that makes us different. And so again, as I see a lot of young people aspiring, wanting to be famous, which is great. There's nothing wrong with that. It's really exciting to see that there's that aspiration to do bigger and greater things and not get involved into illegal things. That's really great. But my message is, keep your norms, keep your culture. Do that within your cultural norms. Do that within your beliefs. Do that within that identity that made you you. That identity that is well appreciated by other people. But those people you're trying to please, they do appreciate you as an original, not as an imitator. And this is something that we definitely have to understand. People appreciate originality. They do not appreciate imitators, because the minute you start doing, again, I go back to saying that the minute you start doing things for money, you stop being original and you start being imitative, because now you're not doing things in an original form, but you're doing things to imitate what's making money. It's like a business person going out there and say, what's being sold, what's going, what are people looking for? And then you have a lot of people doing the same thing because that's where the market is. Well, in terms of art and culture, you cannot bring that into the market, quote unquote. You have to make sure that you're maintaining that originality, because that's what people are looking for. That's what they crave. They want to have that originality. And so again, as you think about what you want to do next, if you want to be an artist, great, but just remember that originality is really key and is really important. Again, if you go with the original, being original, there's no guarantee you're going to be able to make money. But if you are being driven by money, then it's a wrong way to look at promoting your culture and leaving a legacy and being somebody. I'm always excited every time I publish a book, and I'm not doing it for money. I take pride in knowing that I've accomplished something, that this is here to stay, that this is going to be part of my identity, that the next generation is going to see what I've done. And I also take pride in my culture. I'm not ashamed about it, because I take pride in that, because that's part of my identity. That's part of who I am, and I want the next generation to be able to see that. And so, as we aspire to be someone, as we just run toward being somebody and accomplishing something, we also have to remember that there's we owe something to a culture. We owe most of what we do and what we have to a culture, because that has come to define us. It has made us who we are today. And as we do things, we need to always remember that our norms, our cultural belief are part of our identity and what we are. And the minute we lose that identity, the minute we lose that essence of who we are, then we've lost ourselves. And regardless of what we can accomplish in life, it becomes meaningless, because the minute you're no longer there, no one is going to remember. Originality is always remembered and appreciated, but imitation, it lives on for a moment and then it dies off and disappears. And so as you think about what you want to do in life, and as you try to kind of move on into your next career and life and so on and so forth, just always remember that originality is appreciated, and part of that is that culture the norms, the deeds, the things that are part of your culture that made you you, that give you a definition of who you are, and define the culture, the belief, the thing, the person that you've become. And always make sure you incorporate that into your future plans and your dreams and so on. And please stop trying to imitate everything that you see. Start, stop trying to be unoriginal, but start being original, maintaining that belief, maintaining those culture. And with that, I'm just going to go ahead and end it here. But again, I take a moment to give thanks to all of you for continuing to support the African Messenger in what we are doing. And I hope you will continue your support. We do appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I should be seeing you next time. Again, this is Gloria, your host here from the African Messenger, and wishing you all the best. And I'll be talking to you soon. Thank you for tuning in for this segment again. Take care.